Fans of Yellowstone, welcome back. You're in for a ride like no other, whether you've been watching for a long time or are just starting out and want to get into the heart of the American frontier. Get ready, YouTube audience, to saddle up and ride with me into the next thrilling chapter on my channel, because today, we're stepping into a time before the modern-day Duttons, before John, Beth, or Rip ever set foot on the land we now call Yellowstone Ranch. The moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. The official trailer for Yellowstone 1944 is here, and it's nothing short of breathtaking. This explosive prequel takes us deep into the past and reveals the brutal, wild origins of the Dutton legacy, in which survival was earned through blood, betrayal, and grit rather than a gift. Who ruled this land before the Dutton name became legend? What phantoms are still lurking in the ground beneath Yellowstone? And how far would one family go to stake their claim in a world where power came at a deadly price? Yellowstone 1944 takes us back to an era on the edge of modernity, the twilight of the true American frontier. World War II is ending, but for the Duttons, the battle is just beginning. Against the backdrop of snow-covered Montana wilderness and a country in transition, we meet a new generation of characters who are more than ancestors, they are the very foundation of the empire we know today. At the center of this prequel stands John Dutton Sr., a hardened war veteran returning home with scars no one can see. He's not the land baron we've come to know, not yet. He's a man forged in fire, stepping into a world just as dangerous as the battlefields of Europe. The family ranch hangs by a thread. Enemies are closing in, and peace is as fragile as the winter air. Beside him stands Eleanor Dutton, his fiercely intelligent sister who navigates a male-dominated world with strategy and steel. Her ability to play political chess in a time when women were silenced hints at the birth of the ruthless cunning we later see in Beth Dutton. Then there's Eli Dutton, the hot-headed younger brother whose ambition threatens to destroy everything they're trying to build. Every decision he makes echoes through the decades, laying the groundwork for both glory and tragedy. We're also introduced to Harlan Rust, a quiet drifter turned ranch hand, whose loyalty and violence mirror a young Rip Wheeler. Rust is the soul of the frontier, a man with nothing to lose and everything to prove, shaped by hardship and bound by silent devotion. And then there's the land itself, Montana. Vast, wild, unforgiving. Shot with stunning cinematography, the trailer offers glimpses of elk herds running beneath golden sunrises, storm clouds rolling over distant mountains, and the eerie stillness of a snow-covered prairie hiding the sins of the past. But there is a darker side to the natural beauty. Don't misunderstand. A legacy soaked in blood. A paradise paid for with pain. This isn't just another Western. This is Shakespeare set in saddle and spurs. A tale of legacy, conquest, and sacrifice where every acre comes with a price, and sometimes that price is your soul. Yellowstone 1944 strips away the luxuries of the modern Dutton dynasty to reveal the harsh truths beneath. These aren't titans of industry yet, they're survivors. Scrappy, volatile, and desperate. The broken rock Sioux, who remember this land as their sacred ground, cattle barons like Silas Whitmore, a vicious rival who sees the Duttons as nothing more than a nuisance, and government agents who threaten to divide the West with maps and treaties that ignore generations of bloodshed are among the many forces exerting pressure on them. The trailer hints at the emotional weight of inheritance, in addition to the action. A weathered journal, glimpsed only for a second, promises secrets that could unravel the family. Flash forwards give us a chilling view of future Duttons grappling with the same moral compromises, suggesting that the sins of the past are far from buried. In one haunting scene, a young Indigenous boy watches from the shadows as the Duttons raise a toast over their newly claimed land. His silent gaze speaks volumes. This is no celebration, it's a warning, one that the Duttons will ignore at their peril. This is Western war at its most raw and revealing. Every character, every choice, every drop of blood spilled builds the mythos of Yellowstone Ranch, not as a place of peace, but as a battleground between what's right, what's necessary, and what's simply inevitable. Coming in 2026, Yellowstone, 1944, doesn't just expand the Dutton timeline, it challenges everything we thought we knew. It reframes the legacy of the ranch, not as a story of family triumph, but of ethical decay masked as survival. In addition, as fans, we are compelled to ask, can a family founded on stolen land, blood, and secrets ever truly find redemption? This isn't the beginning of the story. It's the reckoning that set it all in motion. So, saddle up. The war for the West is about to begin again. And this time, nobody gets away unscathed. When the bullets start flying and the brands start burning, the Dutton family in Yellowstone, 1944, is a powder keg ready to explode. A keg of tension brews with warring factions, threatening to tear apart the dynasty before it can even solidify its power. At the center of the conflict stands John Dutton Sr., the battle-hardened patriarch whose wartime trauma has forged him into a ruthless strategist. His vision for the ranch clashes violently with his younger brother, Eli Dutton, a hot-headed gunslinger who believes problems are best solved with bullets. Eleanor Dutton, their cunning sister, plays both sides, publicly supporting John's long-term plans while secretly funding Eli's reckless vendettas against their rivals. Her manipulations create a web of deceit that ensnares even Harlan Rust, the family's most loyal enforcer, who begins questioning whether his devotion is to the Duttons or just to John personally. The season's most explosive drama comes when Caroline Whitmore, daughter of cattle baron Silas Whitmore, seduces Eli in a calculated move to turn the brothers against each other. Their affair leads to a shocking mid-season betrayal, where Eli nearly guns down John during a botched land deal, only for Harlan to take the bullet instead. This act of violence doesn't just fracture the Dutton family, it cleaves it straight down the middle. Once loyal ranch hands and hired guns find themselves forced to choose allegiances, turning the Yellowstone Ranch into a war zone within its own fences. Some remain fiercely loyal to John Dutton Sr., believing his ruthless tactics are the only way to secure the family's legacy. Others, disillusioned by the loss of life and the cost to their morals, follow Eleanor's quiet rebellion, or, even worse, sell their weapons to the highest bidder. As loyalties crumble, so does the illusion of unity. In the meantime, Eleanor's pregnancy, which she has been keeping a secret for a long time, becomes a scandalous secret. Whispers echo through the bunkhouse. The child might be the offspring of a rival landowner, Silas Whitmore, or worse, the result of a dangerous liaison with an American marshal assigned to patrol the contested territory. Either way, the implications are catastrophic. The child growing inside her isn't just a symbol of personal betrayal, it threatens to legally, emotionally, and morally unravel the Duttons' grip on the land they fought, bled, and died for. As the season barrels toward its violent crescendo, the rift in the family seems too deep to ever mend. A sudden coordinated assault by Broken Rock warriors strikes the ranch under a snowstorm, just as the Duttons are about to turn their guns on one another. It serves as a brutal reminder of the contentious nature of the land, which was once held sacred by others. Temporarily united by necessity, the Duttons and their fractured allies fight side by side in a grim, blood-soaked truce. But when the smoke clears and the fires burn out, the scars left behind are more emotional than physical. The final shot of the season offers a chilling promise of future conflict. Eleanor, silhouetted by firelight, burns a stack of letters correspondence that could prove the Duttons' original claim to Yellowstone was based on forged deeds and stolen documents. She watches the flames consume the lies as tears streak her face, and then, with one last look back at the ranch house, disappears into the night. The implication is clear. The greatest threat to the Dutton Empire isn't a foreign enemy, it's the rot within. The final chapter of Yellowstone, 1944, does not end in triumph. It ends in scars. The Duttons have claimed the land, yes. But the cost? It's steep. Lives lost, loyalties shattered, and a legacy stained by betrayal and buried truths. Instead of receiving closure, the audience is left with a haunting reminder of what it truly means to establish an empire on soil covered in blood. In the climactic showdown, John Dutton Sr. stands alone on a wind-bitten ridge, surveying the valley he now owns. Around him, the snow is painted red. The bodies of his enemies and the corpses of men who once called him brother litter the ground. Eli, a trustworthy cousin whose careless last act cost him his life, is among them. Shot down by Silas Whitmore's men, Eli gasps in the mud, clutching at the bullet wound that blooms through his chest. His final words pierce through the silence. Was it worth it? John has no answer. Maybe he never will. The true betrayal comes in the dead of night. Eleanor vanishes, taking with her the family's land deeds and leaving behind a single scrawled note. You built this empire on lies. I won't give my life for them. It's a gut punch. And it's not just the betrayal that stings, it's the truth embedded within it. The first crack in the once iron loyalty of the Dutton name is noticed not by John, but by Harlan Rust. Now partially paralyzed after taking a bullet, meant for someone else, a bullet fired on John's orders, Harlan limps through the ranch like a living ghost. He sees the cost. He smells the decay. Yet he continues, despite his broken state. In the haunting final minutes, the show flashes forward to 1950. The Yellowstone Ranch is thriving again. Livestock roam wide pastures. The new barns are tall. Inside, a grand house trimmed with the wealth of war, an older John Dutton Sr. sits at his desk. The scars on his hands have faded, but the look in his eyes says the pain never left. He opens a letter. It's postmarked from Mexico. Inside is a single black and white photo, a young child with Eleanor's deep eyes and the unmistakable Dutton smirk. Outside, his son young John Dutton rides the fence line on a buckskin horse. John Sr. joins him, pointing to the far-off mountains. Everything you see, son, it's yours. But remember, land don't love you back. And neither will the men who try to take it. It's a chilling lesson, spoken not with pride, but with warning. And so the story ends not with a coronation, but with a funeral. Not with justice, but with a carefully buried truth. You've just witnessed the bloody birth of the Dutton Empire. But make no mistake, this is only the beginning. More secrets. Another betrayal. Countless gunfights still to come. If you're excited for Yellowstone, 1944 set to premiere in 2026, hit that like button and turn on your notifications. You won't want to miss the release of the trailer, exclusive cast interviews, and fan theories that will completely unravel this story. Additionally, we need your input. Who do you think is the most ruthless Dutton? John Sr.? Eleanor? Eli? Comment below. For more updates, behind-the-scenes stories, and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Nextdoor. We've got sneak peeks, cast interviews, and fan theories you won't want to miss.